Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wild Rivers Film Radio, the official podcast of the Wild Rivers Film Festival, broadcasting on KCIW 100.7 FM. I'm Sue Wright.
And I'm Juday. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Today we're introducing two of the newest members of the Wild Rivers Film Festival Board of Directors, Robert Naugle and Jessica Niemi. Robert brings decades of experience in radio broadcasting, communications, and corporate training, while Jessica contributes a background in financial systems, organizational leadership, and screenwriting. We're delighted to have them on board with us.
Our board is made up of volunteers with diverse talents and experiences, and we're excited to introduce two people who will help shape the future of the Wild Rivers Film Festival.
But before we begin, we'd like to thank one of Wild Rivers Film Festival's biggest sponsors, our local travel expert, Oregon's Wild Rivers Coast. We'd also like to recognize one of our newest sponsors, Southern Oregon Subaru, and the festival support of the Judith Ann Mogan Foundation, whose generous support helps us make the 2026 festival possible.
We also thank our many sponsors, grant partners, volunteers, and community supporters who believe in the power of independent film to educate, inspire, and bring people together. To learn more about supporting the festival, visit wildriversfilmfestival.com.
If you're new to the show, welcome. The Wild Rivers Film Festival is a 4-day celebration of independent, regional, and international cinema held each August in beautiful Brookings, Oregon. Beyond the festival itself, WRFF offers filmmakers seminars, youth film education, monthly screenings, community events, and this podcast, where we introduce audiences to filmmakers and the people helping build a vibrant film community on the Oregon South Coast.
This year's festival runs August 13 to 16, and we'd love to see you there.
So Robert and Jessica, welcome to the Wild Rivers Film Radio. We're so glad to have both of you here.
Thank you. We're
Thank you.
Happy to be here. Proud to be a part of this organization.
Let's begin with a few introductions. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves. Would you like to start first, Robert?
I will. I was born in northeastern Pennsylvania in coal country, but didn't get to know it. I think moved before I was one. Raised in the East Bay area, over the hills from Oakland in the Livermore Valley, and got my education, both junior high, high school, and college in State College, Pennsylvania, home of the Pennsylvania State University.
That sounds cool. Tell us a little about your background and what brought you to Brookings, Jess.
Yes, well, I was born and raised in San Jose, California, and in Silicon Valley. And in 2010, after there was like a recession and slowdown, I was working in architecture, and we had an opportunity to move up to the coast, closer to family, and so we did. And it's just a beautiful place to live and raise children. And then I really got into screenwriting, and then the festival started happening up there. Actually, when I was in San Diego, I moved back and I got involved, and I just really love the spirit and the tenacity and the passion of the board and the community really supporting this festival.
Great. Thank you. Robert, I'm curious, what sparked your interest in radio broadcasting and communications?
Well, as a kid growing up in the East Bay, I grew up in the era of big top 40 70s AM radio, and the dominant radio station when I was growing up was 610 KFRC in San Francisco. And one year I got a transistor radio. Yes, I'm that old. And I would go to bed at night with it tuned into KFRC, that's the top 40 radio station in the Bay Area, and I would put the radio under my pillow and go to sleep listening to the radio all night until the battery died. And it kind of sparked an interest in me, all those personalities, those bigger than life personalities in that era of radio. And I thought that I must have been 6 or 7. I thought, this is what I'm going to do.
You have to do this.
So then I transitioned into, doing my own little radio shows on a cassette recording machine with my, fellow 7, 8, 9-year-old friends in our bedrooms.
That's awesome. That's such a Spielberg story.
It was one of those, it was one of those things where I knew when I was a kid, this is what I want to do. And, went on to found my high school's closed circuit radio station, then got into college radio at Penn State for a couple months before I got hired by the commercial station, and on and on and on and up and up.
That's cool. So, Jess, you've worked extensively in the financial system, and you have a passion for screenwriting. Can you tell us a little bit about how those two very different interests happened?
I can't really say exactly how they happen, except that's just who I am. And when I've always had a really wide range of interests. I like science, I like math, I like art, I like theater. So even though they seem very different, they really go hand in hand. And a lot of the skills that I use in my financial analysis and I also cross over and transfer to my analysis of screenwriting. So let's see, for the financial systems, actually, one of my first jobs, I was a manager of a manufacturing and retail company, and my boss hired me so he could go to Hawaii and not have to worry about the office. And he was an economics major, and he taught me everything about Excel that has served me very well in my career. And when I moved up to Crescent City, I went back to college and obtained my degree. And then I started working at the Del Norte Economic Development Corporation. And it was such a blast working with the accounting systems. And it's really like being an investigator. And you're putting together puzzle pieces and you're creating a story with numbers. So the financial systems, you're creating a story with numbers. And in screenwriting, you're creating a story more with images and that sort of thing. So they're very different, and they also have a lot of transferable skills. And sometimes I like to get into my analytical brain, and sometimes I want to be in my creative brain, and I could delve into each of those in either of those fields, depending on the project. And for screenwriting, I would say that I really got into it in 2021 when I went overseas and I didn't have to work. And I thought about what I wanted to do with my time. And I've always loved writing and I've loved movies. And it's really hard to break into movies. And if you have a movie, you have to have a screenplay. So I realized that in order to make a movie, I needed to write a screenplay. So I started learning about screenplays, and then I started reading screenplays for other writers, for film festivals, providing coverage and feedback. And when I worked in financial systems, I was also doing business coaching and analyzing business startups and businesses that were wanting to grow and expand, because I was also a loan administrator. And I really, in both of those positions, whether it's coaching screenwriters or coaching entrepreneurs, I really love helping people and helping them kind of magnify their voice and see where they're struggling, and also point out little things that they can do to elevate their project. So that's
You're a great coach. We know that from the board. Especially with QuickBooks.
You really are. And you're amazing at organizing things and making it make sense, and it looks easy to us when you tell us how to do it.
Well, thank you. I hope I don't overcomplicate things that can really be simple.
No, you don't. I'm going to switch gears again and ask Robert to tell us a little bit about his radio broadcasting background and what might have been some of the highlights.
Sure. First, though, I wanted to say I'm so glad that Jessica is with us because she is good at everything that I'm not.
That's always nice to have
Isn't that what a team
fully
is?
complimented person beside you.
We each bring our strengths to the table. And
Yeah, it's a great team. It's a great team. My start in actually getting onto the air, when I was in my senior year of high school, I was a pretty good student in high school, got good grades. And if you got through some advanced placement courses, you ended up with a bunch of free time in your senior year, big blocks of time when you didn't have to go to class. And one of the options was to intern with a local business. You just had to identify it, work with a counselor, and they'd place you somewhere. Well, of course, for me, it was one of the radio stations in town. So I ended up being basically like a file card manager, filing LPs and just, like coffee boy, the typical thing the story you hear, I guess, in the movie industry and, a lot of other entertainment industries. And of course, every time I got a chance, I would, kind of nudge the program director and say, hey, what would it take for me to get on the air? What do I got to do? And he was kind of swatting me away like a fly all the time. And then when I was getting close to graduation and my internship was over, I said, well, I'd love to come here and work. And he just was kind of, brushing me aside. And I decided right then and there that I was going to do everything I could to get onto the competitor station and kick their butts.
I love it.
And that's exactly what I did, actually. I spent like a summer in college radio, the summer between my senior year of high school and my freshman year at Penn State. And by the time the classes actually started, I had gotten good enough that the commercial station said, we'd like you to come on air. So I don't actually think I was supposed to be on the air at the college station because the requirement was you had to be a student. And I got out of it before the classes even started. Anyway, that's that one. Then so I got onto I worked my way through college at a commercial radio station. So I would go to class during the day and I was on the air at night and did that for the whole time I was there.
Did you ever get on that competitor's radio station?
No, but I became the top personality in town, and so I achieved my revenge.
I was going to say sweet revenge. Yes.
I love those kind of stories.
Those are some great backgrounds for both of you. What eventually brought each one of you here to the Oregon Wild Rivers coast?
Go ahead, Jessica. I'll let you start.
Okay. I think I mentioned it a little bit, and I was gonna let's see. I had another. What brought me to the coast? Well, I was working for an architect company as a project administrator, and that mostly built schools, and all their projects were frozen. This was 2009, and so we had to come up with a new plan for our family, and we ended up moving up there to the coast. And when I was working at the architect company, I had started getting into LEED and sustainable design and I had taken and failed the LEED Green Associate exam, but moving up to the coast, I was able to get into a program where I was able to take that training, and
it just worked out great, huh?
It just worked out great. Sorry, I'm rambling now. And yeah, so basically family and just the opportunity. I would say a little bit jealous of Robert's story that he's been able to delve into something that he's loved for a long time. I totally believe one thing leads to another, but nothing about my path has been linear. There's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of round in circles. But yeah, family and just the beauty of the coast and the opportunity to have a different kind of life.
Never a dull moment.
So, Robert, what do you enjoy most about living in this area?
Oh, the natural beauty, I think. Before I moved up here full time, my parents were retired just on the California-Oregon border in Smith River. If you know the area, most of the people that live, down there, they're basically Brookings residents, even though they're technically in Smith River in California, just because it's 20 minutes away as opposed to the longer drive to Crescent City. So I started after a while, as my parents started getting older, coming up here for my vacations because I just enjoyed it, and of course free lodging. No, just the natural beauty, just the stunning natural beauty, the clean air, the ocean. From the time I moved from landlocked central Pennsylvania to LA, I decided never again in my life am I going to be far from the ocean. So this was, this had, the natural beauty and the ocean, which is.
What are some of your favorite places along the South Coast? I'm just curious. We all have our favorite beach.
It's got to be Harris Beach. It's literally across the street from my house. Can't see it, but it's, it's, from what I've heard, it's the most visited state park in Oregon, and for good reason.
Watching the sunsets there is amazing.
Yeah, it's just a really stunning place, and people come from, all over. I worked for a very short time in the hospitality industry in town and ran into people from Europe and, other parts of North America passing through on their way up the coast. And it was, when you after you're here for a couple of years, you get jaded about it because you see it every day when you're driving, to work or home. But, you're constantly reminded from these people who've never seen it before just how amazing it is and how there's nothing like that in their country or state or, where they live. So
I spend a lot of time in Austin, Texas, and when we come back, it's always like, yes, we're here. So
it is a beautiful place.
Yeah. Jess, what's your favorite spot along the South Coast?
I'd have to agree. Harris Beach is a fabulous beach. And then Smith River Beach, I really love that just because being in Smith River, and the sunsets there are also amazing, and the sand is very soft and it's so wide open, and sometimes you're there all alone. And I really love that. One thing that was like a turning point or like a decision point for me to move up there was I was visiting my parents in Smith River. I think it was spring break or something, and the rivers were overflowing. It was raining 7 days straight, and I sat on their porch. It really was. And I just loved it and fell in love with it. It was overcast and misty, and I just started crying and said, this is home.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when did each one of you first discover the Wild Rivers Film Festival? We'll start with you, Robert.
Well, when I moved up here to serve as a caregiver to my mother in about 2018. And at some point, I started seeing posts and advertising for the film festival, I thought that was just the absolute coolest thing, because I am a film nut and have been for a long time. I thought that is something I would love to see. But I've been broke most of the time that I've been here. And so the first thing I did is went onto the website and look at the tickets. I said, I can't afford that. So that's why I joined the Wild Rivers Film Festival for the free ticket.
That's a great way for us to get volunteers.
Yeah.
Now I can go.
There you go. We love it too. How about you, Jess?
I actually got a free ticket as well. My daughter is her boyfriend's uncle is Daryl, and they went to, I don't know if it was a pirate festival or some festival where he was giving away tickets, and she got one and she gave it to me. Oh. And I had just moved back to the area from San Diego, where I was involved with the San Diego Film Festival. And before the festival started, I showed up. I was like, can I volunteer? What's going on? I did actually buy the VIP pass because I wanted to attend the filmmaker
seminar.
Seminar, which was really amazing and wonderful, full of super helpful information.
I always think that's kind of the best part of the film festival, are those seminars in the morning where Dan Springen takes, with the panel, takes people through pre-production to post-production.
For me, yeah, it really was the best part.
Well, we're really glad you did.
Yes, and then with all the like mixers that the festival had going on, I started up a chat, or somehow Kirsten and I started up a chat. We were at Zola's and just started talking. And then after the festival, we had exchanged contact, and then she reached out, and then I got involved.
That's great. So, how has your interest in storytelling and screenwriting influenced your appreciation of the independent film?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in October, I can't believe it's been a couple of years now, in 24, I started the CC Spirit podcast. And I started it as a way just to help other entrepreneurs and creative, passionate people. And I had a friend say, well, why don't you just focus on filmmakers? And I did. And my first guest was, oh gosh, why can't I think of her name right now? Anyways, she was an independent filmmaker, and I was just so impressed by her tenacity and spirit to follow her dreams and to make something happen. And actually, before that, I was a script supervisor, and there's just something about people that have a project and they're doing work that they love, that it's not really work anymore, and there's this amazing energy around it. And I've always been someone that loves true stories and historical stories and just really epic cinematic stories. And I think that storytelling is a part of who we are as humans, and it's how we become better people. It's how we understand ourselves. It's how we can relate to other people. It's how we could experience more of the world without having to go through it personally.
And this is the reason that people should come to the film festival, too.
That's exactly the reason they should come, experience these stories that in films that they couldn't experience otherwise, and to connect with other people that are having a similar experience is really a powerful opportunity. Yeah.
Robert, has your broadcasting background shaped the way you think about storytelling?
Absolutely. One of the things I learned early in my career, once I got to LA and got on the air there, was that your goal as a radio personality is to keep people tuned in through the commercials. And so in order to do that, you have to be compelling and keep people's attention with the things that you say. And sometimes you have to build up some anticipation to, the end of your story, and just keep people tuned in while the commercials play, because the reality of commercial radio is that it's for the commercials, and you can't go on and on and on and on either, because that could tend to turn people off. So you have to tell concise stories that are compelling enough to have people not push the button as soon as you finish talking.
So, as new board members, what excites each one of you the most about the future for Wild Rivers Film Festival? Jess, how about we start with you?
Yeah, what excites me about the future of the Wild Rivers Film Festival is the community-wide opportunity that it offers, that the board, the founders, everyone is looking for ways to connect and to grow, not necessarily in size, but in impact. And I'm just really inspired by all the passion of the supporters, the directors, the community. So I'm just really excited about what's been going on so far, and seeing even just more of those sparks and ripple effects going out. The youth workshop to me is really like something that can grow and be like a lighthouse in the community for both young people and people that have already started their careers of, understanding that the film festival is more than just a good time at the movies. It's really about appreciation and culture.
Well, we're running out of time here. It went by quite quickly, and I've got lots more I'd like to ask you. But Robert and Jessica, thank you both for joining us today and for stepping forward to serve on the Wild Rivers Film Festival Board. We're excited to have you both as part of our WRFF family.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
The Wild Rivers Film Festival returns August 13 to 16 with 4 days of outstanding independent films, filmmaker conversations, educational programs, and special events. We hope you'll see us there.
To learn more about the festival, purchase passes, volunteer, become a sponsor, or make a donation, visit wildriversfilmfestival.com.
You can also follow Wild Rivers Film Festival on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for festival updates throughout the year.
Thanks today to Michael Gorse for recording, Tom Bozak for sound mixing and editing. I'm your producer, Sue Wright. Our guests today are Robert Naugle and Jessica Niemi. I'm your host with Beth Juday, and thanks for listening.
And we'll see you at the movies.